Hello, this is the End of Iteration app showcase. We are Group 3 consisting of Jarrett Tice, Thomas Leisure, me, Jameson Boyd, Evan Sells, Ian Giles, and Simon Winters. We will be making an augmented reality app for the Tennessee State Park.
For our project with the Tennessee State Park, a couple of the main problems we talked through with our customer were first, that customers of the state park rely heavily on park rangers to interpret the sites. When a park ranger is interpreting a site, they are providing more information than what a normal information panel you could find at each park gives, and points out things that wouldn't be obvious to a visitor, like where previous buildings used to stand, more insight into what happened at each site, and overall providing a better educational experience for visitors. Well, there are only so many park rangers, and some visitors may miss out on the extra insight if park rangers aren't around or if there aren't enough of them at each site. Second issue is that it's hard to visualize a site as it was in the past. Oftentimes these structures and roads aren't recognizable or are hard to spot without the help of a park ranger. But with current technology at our disposal, we can fix that. Our contact, David Brady, and the team has come up with a solution to provide a virtual tour experience and site interpretation through a mobile application on your phone for when park rangers are spread thin throughout the park. The app will include the augmented reality suite that will work with your phone's camera to overlay accurate models and these historic sites in their previous condition for a better viewing experience than just looking at pictures alone. With the AR experience will also be included basic tools that can normally be found at each park, like a park map and basic information about the site.
Primarily, this is a proof of concept, so some of the features that we are showing today may not look like what they will in the future.
Hi everyone, this is Evan speaking. My focus this iteration has been the user interface for the app, in particular the menu screen you see here. We want to provide a clean interface for the app, something that's enjoyable to use rather than simply a means to get to the AR functionality. We also want to provide cohesiveness with the existing state park resources like the Tennessee State Parks app and website. To do this, we've incorporated a picture of the hills around Frozen Head and included the state parks logo, which is in line with what you would see on those other resources. We also wanted to incorporate some of the park colors, which we talked about with you, David, so you'll notice the navigation bar here is green. Next, you can see we structured the menu in a way that eliminates scrolling and displays the scan QR code more prominently while keeping the other app features still on the screen. Being that AR is the driving force of the app, we think that this is appropriate, but we'd love to get your feedback and suggestions on this layout. Finally, we want to ensure that the app is user-friendly. Since the app will be available for both iOS and Android, we want to make sure the app has a familiar feel for both sets of users. So we kept the nav bar simple with just three icons, home, search, and settings. That should be familiar for both sets of users. That wraps up the menu screen, but again, we'd love to hear any feedback on our design and how we can maybe improve this layout.
This is our wireframe for the FAQ page. As you can see, there are drop down menus for each one of the FAQ items so that we can fit more information without clogging up the space. Currently is filled with a bunch of random words so that we can see what it'll look like in the future without having real content yet. That'll be filled in the future.
One of the additional features of the app that we've decided is going to be implemented is an interactive map of the state park. The map will be used as a supplementary resource in the app along with the actual AR experience and virtual tours. It will show all the details of the route through the park, such as distance, difficulty, and names. It will also show the location of key spots such as historical sites, virtual tour locations, restrooms, the visitor's office, and more. The map will be fully interactive, allowing you to zoom in, scroll around, and tap on important locations to see more detail about them. You will even be able to download the map to your phone so that you can always have access to all this information, even if you lose internet connection while deep in the park.
We chose to use the Unity engine to build our project as it has a lot of advantages that will help us create our own augmented reality application, including the AR Foundation package. Not only does this allow us to quickly create a mock-up of our project, but it also takes away most of the hassle that comes with creating our own application from the ground up. We can easily implement GUI into our project, asset downloading can be handled through Unity's web request package, and most importantly, adding AR quickly and efficiently. With this, we want to be able to replicate the experience of having a park ranger tour guide, even if there are no park rangers available. We get to show off the buildings and historical sites of the parks to the visitors so they can experience it like the sites never left. We plan on having interactable text blocks that give brief descriptions of the current site the visitor is at. There will also be a button that activates text-to-speech for those who need it. Right now, we have two plans for the augmented reality section. There will be a version that has full augmented reality, so a camera background and the models displayed on the camera, like you would see in some other games and apps like the Pokemon Go. The other version is for people who are currently not on the site but still want to view the sites. They'll be able to explore each of the sites from wherever they are, having all the models loaded in at the same time, showing off the scale and size of the historical sites.
Now, for just a short recap, we are trying to bring the history of our state parks back to life through the use of augmented reality technology and to create an accessible park experience for everyone, whether on site or not. We also want to ensure that any information that a visitor may need, such as trail maps, campground locations, or other questions, is easy to find and access. Being able to accurately visualize what a site would have looked like in the past provides an incredible insight into what life may have been like at that time and respect for how much things have really changed. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we hope that you are as excited for this project as we are.